So many of you may well be concerned about what Apple does with the old iPhones. Well, everything regarding Apple is a secret. However, we do know that Apple destroys old iPhones with care in secret factories throughout the world. Apple has also introduced its reuse and recycle trade-in program for the iPhone, allowing for users to get credit towards the purchase of a new iPhone in exchange for trading in their old ones. Before I get ahead of myself, welcome back to the YouTube channel Let's Get Techie. As always, I'm your host Luke, and in today's video we're going to show you what Apple does with the old iPhones. I'm sure many of you have thought about this as well, and if that's the case, stick right to the video, and also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Recycling electronics has always been difficult, and it's only becoming more difficult as our devices become smaller and much more complex. There are more than 70 different elements in the modern smartphone. This is almost 2/3 of the elements in the periodic table in the palm of your hand. These materials were extracted from the earth and refined through a process and supply chains that are stretched around the world. The iPhone's body and circuitry are made of gold and copper. The battery contains lithium and cobalt, and the magnets that make it hum and buzz contain neodymium, a rare earth element. On the touchscreen, indium makes a layer that is transparent and conductive. Europium gives your screen display its red color, and so on. David Abraham, former commodities trader and head of the policy think tank Technology, Rare and Electronics Materials Center, says, "We interact with these metals every day without even realizing it. It takes a lot of energy to mine all these elements from scratch," as Abraham points out in his book The Elements of Power, which was published in 2015. According to research, over 1.5 billion phones are sold each year. Most people either shove their old phone into drawers or completely pack them away in boxes. Then there are times we simply throw them away, and these phones end up in landfills, releasing toxic chemicals into the environment. You might be surprised to learn that e-waste alone accounts for 70% of toxic waste. As a result, smartphone manufacturers are working hard to find new ways to contribute to a sustainable environment and reduce e-waste as much as possible. Apple recently began sourcing paper products from managed forests and is also ensuring that a new tree is planted every time one is removed. They have also pushed the boundaries by encouraging customers to use Apple's trade-in programs. With that said, let us return to the topic at hand. So what becomes of your old iPhones? Let's take it one step at a time. iPhone examination. Reputable recyclers investigate the mobile device to evaluate whether or not it may be refurbished and used again. If the condition of the iPhone is deemed to be adequate, then it will be prepared for sale on the secondary market as a refurbished iPhone. Apple's online store offers the sale of certified refurbished phones that come with warranties. In the case that a product is not offered for sale in the United States, it may be distributed to a variety of distributors in nations located in Asia and South America. Recycling only occurs when a phone is in such terrible condition that it cannot be repaired. So let's move to the next process. iPhone recycling. The various recycling plants receive iPhones that are beyond the point of no return or refurbishment after they've been tested. Shredders of various sizes and strengths are used to process these materials once they're brought into the plants. Bringing your iPhone back to Apple has been an option for some time now, but the company has recently stepped up its efforts to encourage customers to do so. Feel free to look into the new iPhone, and whilst you're at it, Apple will give you a good price for the one that you're now using. Apple CEO Tim Cook intends people to consider their smartphones in the same way that they do their automobiles. When you're finished using it, you should give it to someone else who can use it instead. Important metal parts are removed from the circuit board and then melted down in order to retrieve valuable metals like gold, palladium, and aluminium from the boards. These precious metals that are held within the old iPhones are lost when you dispose them in the garbage. Despite being in very little amounts, the sum is extremely large. According to one statistic, the amount of gold that can be found in discarded electronic equipment accounts for 11% of the entire quantity of gold that is mined each year. That's quite incredible, don't you think so? Apple asserts that its take-back programs were responsible for the diversion of 89 million pounds of electronic waste from landfills and the recovery of 61 million pounds of reusable material in the year of 2015. Taking into account their weight, that is the same as having 215 million iPhone 6s, or 20 million MacBook Pros. In 2017, Apple made public their aspirational ambition to establish a fully closed-loop system chain, the goal of which was to ensure that all new goods will be developed without the extraction of any new materials from the earth. Despite the fact that it was developed without total clarity regarding the manner in which it would be carried out, it is suitable for a company of Apple's size and scope. Apple CEO Tim Cook stated, "We are truly taking into consideration every facet of what it is that we are building. It is the most important target of them all. However, it is a stage on which we take great pleasure in performing." Tim Cook is completely unconcerned. He stated, "To be completely forthright, we didn't know how to attain 100% renewable energy either. All the way back in 2016, we decided on a somewhat arbitrary target. And it looks like we're actually going to achieve it. It's likely that we'll finish a little ahead of schedule for that as well." In order for the Apple company to have a closed-loop supply chain, practically every aspect of the company's hardware needs to be improved. The previous year, Apple made a lot of noise about its innovative use of recycled aluminium across the entirety of its product range. In addition, the company has put pressure on its suppliers to become more environmentally conscious, and as a result, 44 of them are now exclusively manufacturing Apple products using renewable energy. Cook and Apple are keeping their fingers crossed that more customers would turn in their outdated mobile devices so that they could recycle the components. Daisy, the company's robot, is capable of disassembling and reusing components from an average of 200 old iPhones every single hour. In a recent discussion about Apple's commitment to sustainability, CEO Tim Cook mentioned the possibility of a new distinction for products in the Apple Store based on their sustainability. He said, "I don't want to announce it ahead of time. If true, it would be an example of Apple using its considerable power to actively push other companies into its orbit to take sustainability as seriously as Apple does." Cook spoke to GQ before accepting an award from Ceres, a non-profit that promotes sustainable energy. Cook and Lisa Jackson, Apple's VP of Environment Policy and Social Initiatives and former head of the EPA, have stepped up to the company's environmental efforts. For example, all of Apple's stores, offices, and data centers are now powered by renewable energy, and a robot has been made that can take apart old iPhones to fix them or to get the materials that they're made of. Apple says that most of the aluminium that is recycled from an iPhone is used to make the aluminium case of the MacBook Air, which is made entirely of recycled aluminium. The cobalt that is recycled from an iPhone battery is used to make brand new batteries. Apple has advanced its recycling initiative towards a more sustainable environment by developing its own robot, Daisy. Daisy is a 33-foot-long 5-armed robot, is housed in a 9,000-square-foot warehouse in Texas. He has 29 arms and can disassemble an old iPhone in 11 seconds flat, separating it into bins of screens, views, SIM card trays, and spare batteries. To keep Daisy busy, Apple created a special Renew program for customers. Aside from your iPhone, the company will gladly take your iPods, iPads, Bluetooth keyboards, old wired earbuds that no longer work, dongles, adapters, and power cords that are getting frayed for free. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you found this video informative and that it answered the age-old question of what happens to your old iPhones. And if it did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon as well so you don't miss out on any future videos from us. As always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful time.